What's up, brothers? Hey, what's up, brothers? Hope everybody's doing well out there. Welcome to the show. Today I want to have an in-depth conversation about notch counts, both male and female. But most importantly, I want to discuss the reasons why a woman's sexual history matters. And hopefully we can get to the bottom of this. But first, I am not digging this lighting. Much better. All right, let's start with the male side of the equation because I'm a man and I can relate to it. When a male enters the sexual marketplace, or shall we say, when a male loses his virginity, he begins a conquest where he conquers every step of the way. A man can start out with a woman who is a 4 out of 10, but you bet your ass he conquers that 4 out of 10. And then what happens? He moves up a next level. He conquers a 5 out of 10. He conquers a 6 out of 10. He conquers a 7 and an 8 and a 9. And after he's mastered the game, he goes on special missions. He conquers foreign women. He conquers threesomes. He conquers all of the wildest stuff that your mind can possibly imagine. But every step of the way during his conquest, he is rising. He is getting better. His standards are going up. His confidence is going up. A woman calls him on a Tuesday night. She wants to come over for sex. But he has to tell her no. Because it's already 10 o'clock and he has to get up at 4. And if she comes over, he's going to be up half the night. And then he's probably going to have a glass of scotch and a stogie afterwards. He'll be up until at least 3 a.m. It's going to screw the next day up. So you see, his conquest has taught him to prioritize his purpose over pussy. And on top of that, his reputation has not gone down. As a matter of fact, it has gone up, especially around the fellas. The fellas have gained respect for him by the more women that he slept with. Now, I don't make the rules. I'm just explaining that's the way that it goes. When a man has a lot of women on him, the other dudes know he's that dude. And when the other dudes know he's that dude, it provides a social proofing to all the women. If the women know that the dudes know that he's that dude, then the women are definitely going to think he's that dude. So during the male conquest, he just continues to rise up. He gets better every step of the way. Now again, I'm not, tooting my own horn here because I'm a male. I'm just saying that's the way it works. And again, I don't make the rules. I'm just explaining them based on the reality that we live in, the world that we live in. Now, we're going to have to move on to the female side of the equation. Now, we're going to have to reword this. When a woman enters the sexual marketplace, it is not exactly a conquest. She's surrendering. It's a big difference. So just for the sake of the argument, we can give her the same exact path as the man. Right? So she enters the sexual marketplace. She starts out with a man that's a 4 out of 10. She moves up to a man that is a 5 out of 10, a 6 out of 10, a 7 out of 10. She is surrendering the booty every step of the way. And eventually what happens? What is the result of a woman who has surrendered the booty to many men? And we all know the answer. Does her confidence go up? Does the level of respect that her girlfriends have for her go up? Do her standards go up? Does this put her priorities in check. Well, maybe, but not in the kind of the way that she would want to. Instead, she goes down in all of these categories, and on top of that, she becomes emotionally damaged. Her ability to pair bond goes down. She wasn't built to play that game the way that the man did. And again, I'm not trying to bash women. A lot of people think that's what I try to do. I'm not. This is the kind of talk that you should have with a woman that you care about, that's a family member or something, right? They should know this. Mothers should teach their daughters this. Unfortunately, they don't. Now, there was a traditional way of doing things, and it worked. Because men and women are complementary. They always have been, they always will be. But the problem is the economy has changed, society has changed, the Industrial Revolution and everything that's came since then has changed social dynamics a lot. There's also a little social engineering going on there, but anyways, 50 years ago, there were multiple factors that went into society being different and relationships between men and women being different. Back then, cooking wasn't easy, was it? Cleaning wasn't easy. Imagine before a vacuum cleaner, before a dishwasher, before TV dinners. To cook a meal, you had to chop up all the vegetables. You had to, fry all the meat and bake everything and boil, and it was a long process. Women had to know how to cook. It was a hard job, and they did a good job at it. They were very good at what they did. And what did males do? Males worked hard. They brought home the bacon. They made the money. And what eventually happened is, we switched over to the TV dinners. We switched over to fast food. We switched to dishwashers, vacuum cleaners. So the housework lost its level of difficulty. Anybody could do it. A man can live alone and still take care of all that stuff easily. And what else happened? Women started making just as much money as the men. And that's fine. I'm not speaking against any of this stuff. I'm just saying that's how it happened. So women no longer need a man that's going to bring home the bacon. So the value of the opposite sex, and from a complementary standpoint, has gone down tremendously. I think we all know that. You may not be thinking of it, but you still know it. So what happens? We have a bunch of people going for self. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants sex. Everybody wants to have an exciting life. But the problem with this on the female side, or I should start with the male side, is men can get away with it. When society looks at a man who has slept with a lot of women, they give him encouraging titles, that boost his ego. They call him a pimp or a player or a ladies' man. Or the internet guys, you call them Chads and Tyrones or whatever. When a woman does it, they degrade her, they belittle her, they call her names. Now, again, I'm not here to bash women. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying that's how society views it. That's how society treats it. So a male notch count, just the higher it gets, the higher his status gets, unfortunately. And for a female, it's the opposite. Now, there used to be a different way that this worked, and I'm not talking about the social engineering or the, that side of it. I'm just talking about the natural instinct, the romantic, long-term investment. When a man is 20 years old, his sexual market value sucks. It's low. Unless he's a pro athlete or a trust fund baby, he has no sexual market value whatsoever. It's rock bottom. But you know what? A woman meets him and she says, you know what, he is smart, he's hardworking, he's ambitious. I'm going to take a gamble on this guy. I'm going to invest in this guy. Because keep in mind, when a woman's 20 years old, her sexual market value is sky high. Every man between the ages of teenage all the way up to 50s is looking at her like she is a treasure, like she is a diamond. Women have high sexual market values at low ages. So when a woman takes a chance on a guy at a young age, she says, you know what, this is the guy. She marries him, has kids with him. They move in together, not necessarily in that order. Nowadays, most people get pregnant, then they move in together, then 5 years down the road, they might get married. But anyways, that's the way the dynamic works. And that's the process. All three of those are supposed to be involved. Now, when this happens, the man with low sexual market value works hard. Her investment pays off. So by the time he's in his 30s, maybe 32 years old, he's making upper middle class wages. You know, life is sort of on cruise control for both of them. They have a few kids. Life is easy. They're kicking back and enjoying life. You know, and if he stays in good shape, he works out, stays fit, he's going to have an extremely high sexual market value, no matter what happens. And her sexual market value after she's had a few kids, you know, she's gained some weight. She's now in her 30s. She's no longer that 20-year-old gem that, you know, no man could resist, right? Now she's a mother, a wife. She's viewed differently by society. She's no longer a sexual object that every man would love to invest all their time, energy, and effort on. She's now a mother and a wife, right? Men aren't quite as sexually attracted to her anymore. She's not as sexually appealing in the marketplace. But here's the deal. Because she was loyal to the man when she was young, and her sexual market value was high and his was low, it is male, shall we say, how can I word this? It's just in the male. It's the way we are. When a woman is loyal to us, she's a ride or die, you know, by your side, through the thick and the thin, you know, that type of woman, just based on her loyalty, the man will never leave her. Even when his sexual market value peaks and hers has plummeted, he'll still stay by her side and never leave her. He may cheat on her from time to time. Some guys do, you know, and it's not necessarily something that I recommend. I'm not telling guys that they should cheat on their wives. I'm just saying it happens. But when a man cheats, it's never emotional. It's hormonal. He gets his rocks off, he walks away, doesn't even know her name, he never looks back. When a woman cheats, it's completely different. It's emotional. She has dropped her emotional investment with her man and moved on to the next man. She's invested all of her eggs in a new man's basket. Anyways, that's a different subject. But that'd be a good video to talk about. So that's the way it's supposed to work. When it works like that, it's a machine that can't be stopped. It's a marriage, a family, an indestructible force. And that's the way it's supposed to work. So it's not necessarily a good thing for males or females to have high notch counts, but still remains true that a male high notch count doesn't really affect him in a negative way, and a female notch count will absolutely destroy her emotionally, psychologically, socially. She will plummet. Because either way, the sexual market value will go down. But if she hasn't locked in a long-term investment when it drops, she's in a world of hurt. Very similar to an athlete. Why do you think professional athletes go so hard for long-term contracts when they're in their late 20s? Why does an NBA basketball player want that 7 or 8 multi-million-dollar deal, 7 or 8 year multi-million-dollar deal at the age of 28? Why do they want that? Because they know if they only get a 3-year deal, they're going to be 31 years old. They're not going to have a team to go to. Nobody's going to want them. They're going to be, picking up crumbs, trying to work together a deal. So they want the big deal. Women need to do the same thing. They need to invest in one man. Because if they're promiscuous and they're getting around, time is going to pass them by and they're going to lose their chance. And that's a bitter pill to swallow. Now, for the last time, I'm not bashing women. I'm just speaking the truth. So I hope this video was somewhat informative and somewhat interesting. I think I'll probably just be getting redundant at this point, so we're going to go ahead and cut this one off. I'm LFA, and this has been the LFA Show. Hope you enjoy the content. And I will be back. Until next time, see ya.